let's get into the results of this survey. Quite stunning, because your survey of these customers and of auto executives finding that the brand could be irrelevant to about 48%. That's almost half of those surveyed when you've got an autonomous e-hailing type of service. What's that going to mean for all these big brands here that are selling premium based on the brand?
Well, look, I think when we say that the brand, it's not just really the brand. The issue is that the experience is going to be more important than perhaps the car itself or just a brand and what it says. So they're linked together. And if you think of it this way, that your brand is defined by the experience. And as I've looked around and you've walked around this show, I mean, two words come to your mind: electric. Everything is about electric. But the other thing is about the experience. And when you think about experience, you do think about software, updates, connectivity. That's what drives an experience. And the same survey, I mean, really the number one thing they have to do is put in an open digital platform to support that kind of experience.
But Ginni, these are automakers that could barely deliver good GPS back in the day. So there's a huge challenge ahead. How do you see the automakers unlocking that digital service that they need to provide to customers? How do they close the gap from where they are currently?
Well, first point is, I think they all clearly see this. I mean, even in this study, 83% said they clearly understand that the values in this data and turning it into an experience someone loves in a car. Then the second piece, though, is that only 18% said, and I've got the right open digital platform yet. And so you'll see examples here of the work that we're doing on this point. So as an example, BMW with the Connected Drive platform. It is an open platform built, by the way, on Red Hat. And what it allows them to do is spin up 1,000 different kinds of capabilities from wherever they might be. And this is really the point about it being open. This is now a world where you've got to be able to pull the innovation from anywhere and then make it look very seamless to whoever the person driving the car is. And so back to that survey in a moment, what people said is, if I'm just looking at something like car sharing, I care a lot about cost and I care a lot about convenience. But introduce a great experience for me, and those will become second. And I think that's really what you see everyone trying to do.
I take your point, I'll go down the road on you, that there's huge change coming, but open digital platforms, how does a trade war fit into all of this? Because you step back and you say, hey, we've got a fight still playing out the likes of Huawei in China, access to American software, American hardware. There's a problem with that. So it's impossible to see from here how these companies all work together on open platforms.
Yeah, although I've had many discussions on my visit here. When I say an open digital platform, in many ways, why we did this acquisition of Red Hat, in some ways I could say Red Hat equals sovereignty, meaning I'm able to put my data and my processing on any platform, anywhere I need it. So if I move myself to a country and they say, no, I want my data located here, I have built this application once, but it can run on any platform, anywhere. I can honor that. So I can separate the data and the processing. That's what an open digital platform means. And I think we've actually got the right answer for that. Something that allows, because what you want to be able to do as an auto company is build it once and then put it in whatever configuration, sometimes dictated by what either the regulations are, but sometimes just dictated by practicality of the size of data and moving things around. So there is absolutely a technical answer to what those issues end up being.
I see the logical argument of that, but what about all of those Chinese car makers who've gone down the road of electric and autonomous vehicles and now watching the trade fight play out with Huawei? Wouldn't they be incentivized to have their own operating system, their own platform, and not use anything from the West just in case there is a problem down the line?
Well, I would say to you, an open digital platform allows you to use any service from wherever it is. No matter where I lived in the world, would want an open platform so that it's not just to respond to what you just said, it's also to respond to who's got the best innovation that I want to pull in.
I want to ask you about quantum computing, because you've got a big announcement about bringing some of that technology to Germany. There's been much criticism that Germany is well behind the United States and China when it comes to new technology and connectivity. You've been meeting with Chancellor Angela Merkel. Tell us about the announcement that you got.
Yes, so what we announced last night, we will be bringing the IBM quantum system, IBM Q System 1, here to Europe. So this will be the largest quantum computer outside of the United States here in Europe. It's a partnership with an institute called the Fraunhofer Institute. They're very well known for taking things and bringing them into commercial use. Now, Fraunhofer is also obviously very well known in Germany, but also throughout Europe, so also could serve the continent here. And this is about, for quantum, you look at when will quantum really be in commercial application. So that's still a number of years out. But because it's so different as a way of thinking and the kind of problems you solve, you have to start now building the skills. So this is about not only building the skills here, but having many companies start to use it. So here we're at the auto show. So as an example, Daimler, they've been one of the early partners, and they've been using the quantum system to work on different types of materials for batteries. That's, sometimes chemical, materials, logistics, risk management. These are the early kinds of applications that quantum actually fits. So this is an announcement I'm very pleased with here. So we'll be bringing that here to Germany, and this, I think, really does allow for many of the firms and skills to also be built here.
When we talk about quantum computing, we start to delve into a discussion around job skills as well, because when you've got super AI, what's the need for a workforce, a particular sophisticated workforce? I know you're also looking into skills replacement to ensure many of the big autos here that have work councils as well, very unionized workforces, provide the right sort of skill set to the future.
Yes. So look, this is, and I've said this over and over again, I don't necessarily believe AI replaces all these jobs, but it does change everyone's job. And one of the topics I'll cover in the keynote is, for all of the companies here, this is about reinventing their workforce. Because, by the way, you can't buy all the skills you need either. So this isn't a go buy them outside, replace. This is going to be, everybody lives at that intersection between the job they did before, slightly keeps changing. And so the survey also said, by the way, that they looked at almost a quarter of the workforce would have to be reinvented. And if you put money to that, that's over $30 billion over a period of time. So what do you do about it? And we have been very dedicated. I think part of responsible stewardship, if you make these technologies, is you prepare society to use them. And that has a lot to do with skills. So we're also having an announcement here with Skoda, one of the auto universities, and it's about bringing all these new skills forward. But we've had many other apprenticeships that obviously Germany's been one of the leaders in that area. And then the other area is just things like 6-year high schools, so that everyone doesn't have to have a university degree come on in here.
Just very quickly, we've got about 1 minute left. Brexit, let me ask you about preparations for that and how concerned you are about the prospect of a hard Brexit.
Yes. Well, look, two things. On Brexit, we've been in the UK over 100 years. We'll be in the UK for the next 100 years. So it's a very important piece to us. Like many people, we have prepared for all the different outcomes and know our way through and believe it'll continue to be important. I think I speak for everyone that no matter what the uncertainty is never good for the global economy. And so as we nail these things down, all the better. But I feel really well prepared as the IBM company for that.